Legend of Total War here, and today we're starting a new series on this channel that hopefully will entertain and inform you guys, but will definitely require your participation. So what we want to be doing here is rating your campaigns. So I've got a save file here sent in by Tie-In Gaming that I'll evaluate, and the way I'm going to evaluate them is based on 3 criteria. How well you're doing in economy, diplomacy, and militarily. Now, before you send in a save file, I think it's really important to get some criteria down to sort of minimize the number of save files I get sent in, because otherwise, if I just let every single save file come through, regardless of these criteria, I'm just going to end up with thousands of save files. It's going to completely bloat up my inbox, and then I'm just going to be stuck. I won't be able to use my email address, basically, if that happens. So I think it's really important we get this criteria sorted, just to narrow things down a little bit, because I still think we're going to end up with dozens, if not hundreds of save files to go through. So if you want to send in a save file, you need to follow these instructions. It needs to be on Legendary Difficulty Campaign. That's the only campaign difficulty that I can ensure that you didn't change it halfway through. As for battle difficulty, there's no way for me to change that. In terms of your Chaos Invasion difficulty, I don't really care. All I ask is that you don't change it right before you send it in. I'm not even sure if you can change it, but just ask that you don't. It needs to be between... There's 3 different times in your campaign that I will allow you to send it in. The early game, the mid game, and the late game, which I'm designating the early game at turn 45 to turn 55, and I'm very much aware that different factions will enter early, mid, and late games at different times due to growth rates, but we're just going to stick it to this right for the time being, and we'll shift things around as we go. It's going to be a work in progress. But anyway, early game is between turn 45 and turn 55 for the time being. Mid game will be between turn 95 and turn 105, and a late game will be between turn 145 and 155. So that's roughly where Archaon would show up, but before you'd really have to deal with them. So those are the 3 turn times that I will allow people to send it in. If you're sending in a save file outside of those times, I'm just probably not going to cover it. Now, another thing that I want to do with these is do them in batches. It probably isn't going to take that much time in order to evaluate one person's campaign, especially if I'm not doing any battles. So what I want to be doing is, in each of these videos, covering like 3 to 5 like Tyrion campaigns, or just basically cover one legendary lord that several people have done different campaigns on, and that way we can see how different people have done their campaigns. I think that could be quite interesting to see the variations that actually happen in a legendary difficulty campaign, rather than just focus on one person's campaign per video. So what we've got here, in this one here though, this is just going to be one today, just to sort of get the foundations going. This was sent in by Tie-In Gaming, and I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. I'm not sure if he did this one in a Let's Play or anything, but he does live stream pretty regularly if you want to check him out. So, didn't quite follow the instructions here. We're at turn 111, so it really needed to be before turn 105. But I'm going to make a small exception here, because it is the first one. But from here on out, I need to follow those instructions, okay? So, this would be a mid-game evaluation that we're looking at here. Okay, so, economy. The first thing I can notice is that he's playing High Elves, he's past turn 100, and he's making jack shit money. So I'm looking in Lothern here, which he owns, it's at tier 5, and I'm not seeing entrepreneurs. So I look over to here, and he's only got access to 3 wizards. So if we have a look at these provinces, he is able to increase them in some areas. This one doesn't increase them until tier 5. Got an increase coming in from over there. So this is only at tier 3. This is only at tier 3. You increase the capacity at tier 4. So he's got a lot of tier 3 or lower provinces, but he's only just managed to conquer the donut. So I would say that his expansion has been pretty slow in this campaign, because from my personal experience, around turn 100, we should be seeing almost all regions in Ulthuan at tier 4, and have been at tier 4 for a while, and you should have quite a few entrepreneurs by now. So in terms of his economy, I'm gonna rate it 4 out of 10, because he hasn't expanded very much. This is pretty slow expansion. That's not a lot of money being made. You could just, you can get a lot more out of that. I know that from personal experience. But, you know, he's doing okay in terms of trade. So it's not like the worst thing ever. So I think 4 out of 10. There's a lot of room for improvement here. And I think it just came down to, it just hasn't grown very much in these cities here. I mean, and if we have a look at the mages, let me just have a look at the ones that he does have. Fire mage over here. See, that's not an entrepreneur. Neither is that. So he's gone with protected wizards, which is totally fine if that's what you want to do, but you're missing out on a lot of money, and that one's limber. So just missing out on a lot of money by doing that. So you're really not activating anywhere near to your full potential in your economy here, which would enable you to have more armies and allow you to expand more. You could be a lot stronger than this by turn 111. Okay, the next thing is your diplomacy. So let's evaluate how you're going with other factions. So let's open this up. So you're at war with Chaos, which you can't stop, and that's totally fine. Cult of Pleasure, which that seems normal. There's pretty much no way you're going to get out of that war. And Naggarond. So those are the only wars you're in, and that's pretty good. If we have a look at everybody that either likes or dislikes you, so the Audit Tide seems to be pretty favorable to you. You've got trade agreements with them. That seems pretty good.
Yes.
You haven't confederated the other High Elves yet. That's fine. Let's have a look at that as well. We can see that Naggaroth is still around.
Come in peace.
Yeah, he's still there. He hasn't been confederated yet. You've obviously got Tyrion over here. You've got Toyavres. Where is Eltharion? Okay. So I don't see Eltharion here. So that means... Does that mean he's dead? Probably. If he's not on this list, he's probably dead. So you can revive him if you want. You just have to cause a revolt in Yvres, which it's only a tier 3 settlement. Wouldn't be that big of a deal if you lost it. So you can revive him. As for Imric, it does look like Imric is dead. We can check though. I'd be very surprised if he was still around. If we have a look up here. Yeah, Imric is dead. I mean, that's not that big of a deal, but it would have been good if you could have gotten him. But yeah. So, 2 legendary lords gone. One of them can be brought back though. Okay. And so in terms of diplomacy, I'd probably give this... I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because you haven't confederated all of your legendary lords. Now, I don't expect you to have done that by turn 100, but you should have managed to gotten a Lithanar by now, and if you want a 10 out of 10, you really need to push for that that Imric confederation, because once he's gone, he can't come back. But yeah, getting Techless by turn 100, I don't think is essential, and even if Techless was dead, it's fine, because you can bring him back. At any time if you just cause a revolt at the Star Tower, so it's not urgent to do that. And confederating him can be a bit of a pain sometimes because this is really out of the way, and you don't want to get involved with Lostria too early. But everybody else kind of likes you, so you're not in too many wars. You're not going to get out of the war with the Dark Elves, and plus with Chaos coming down here, yeah, look, they've already destroyed Naggarond. Your victory over the Dark Elves seems pretty much assured at this stage. Alright, the next thing that we want to evaluate this campaign on is militarily. So, by this, I want to have a look at your armies and just see how well they've been built. So, let's start with your faction leader. We'll start with Avelorn. Let's have a look at how she's been leveled up. So, in terms of this, probably don't need Quartermaster. With the High Elves, you don't need to reduce your upkeep costs too much. You just want to make money. Entrepreneurs will make so much money that this will just seem irrelevant, even if you're going full Doom stacks. So that's kind of, not fully, but it's a bit of a waste of points there. Lightning Strike's very important. Bowmaster's good. Skymaster, that's fine. Yep. Putting 2 of them into this probably is not necessary. It depends on what you want to go. You've put Treekin in your army. I can't say I really like that. Oh, you've gone down Blood and Fire. Okay, that's totally fine if you want to do that, but I would personally recommend going Tradition Dictates. Public Order plus 2 World Provinces, very good in early game, but the tax rate plus 5%, really, really good for making money. But also, you've got this stuff over here which allow you to recruit Handmaidens everywhere, because Handmaidens are really, really good. And this just makes Sisters of Avelorn super powerful. And since the bulk of your army is Sisters of Avelorn, see, instead of boosting, what is that, like 10 units, you've gone with boosting 3 units by going with this one here, melee attack plus 9 for Forest Spirits, which is fine, but that's not what you're focusing your armies on. So, totally fine to do that, but you're not really making as good use out of it. Also, you turn 40... Sorry, not turn 40. Level 40, and you didn't get the Great Eagle. So, I don't think that, that Alariel's been leveled up very well here. I really think you should get the Great Eagle. It's a very good mount, especially for spellcasters. In terms of the magic, it seems like that's all done correctly. No wasted points there. But yeah, this could have been a little bit more efficient, for sure. Alright, let's have a look at Tyrion over here, see how he's been leveled up. He's only rank 19. Alright, this is all fine. I mean, it's going to be difficult to evaluate him because some of the points might have been put in from the AI. But the main thing that I'm looking for here is this. So, it's good that that's all done. Tyrion can essentially still reach his maximum power just with some more extra levels up. Blue line's done. This line here, which is really important, is done. Getting the red line done is important, but not urgent. As for his army, I don't really see any benefit having Treekin in there at all. I'm just not a fan of that unit. Totally fine if that's what you want to do, but that's my biggest concern about it. You got some Lawmasters of Hoeth in the army, which again, not a problem. I think that Fire Wizards are good, but if you're going to go Archer spam, I think that Light Wizard is better, just for the net of Amatox. And a Noble. I actually find that Nobles are better in the army than Lawmasters of Hoeth. If you want to go Lawmasters of Hoeth, what I would recommend is go full Lawmaster of Hoeth spam. Really, really good. But at the same time, this isn't bad. It's just slight nitpickiness of it. By the way, where are your Nobles? How many do you have? 3 out of 3. That's not very many. You should have like 20 by now. Where are they? Where are those nobles? That's another thing. You own all of Ulthuan. You should leave like Illyrian owning a gate so that you can farm it for influence. So you can't really do that now. Yeah, where are your well, 2 of them are wounded. And one of them's... Oh, are you trying to go and meet Imric? I can see you're trying to meet him. Imric's dead, dude. He's gone. The way to tell if a faction is still alive is you press this, and you have a look in this order. So, all of the factions in this game are clumped together in the camera setting here. So all the High Elves come first, right? And all the major factions go... All of the major factions come before any of the minor factions. So, if Imric was still alive, as in the Knights of Caledor, it would go Order of Lawmasters, Nagaryth, and then Knights of Caledor. Since he's not there, he's dead, he's gone. So we can find out, you can find out if any faction is dead using this. So we can see that Hexwilder's alive, Last Defender's alive, Spirit of the Jungle, still alive. But Tlaqua, no, they're all still alive. They're gone. No one's gone there. So you can see that Hagrief is still around. We haven't met them, but we can see that they're still alive. And we can see that, yeah, he's still alive, but you can see them. And so on and so forth. But that's how you find out if they're alive. So it seems to me like you're trying to meet somebody that doesn't exist. I think you're going to be pretty disappointed when you arrive there and you find either Grimgor or Snitch. So a bit of a waste there. You've just missed your chance. If you want to get Imric early, you have to confederate Caledor. When you confederate Caledor, you'll meet Imric straight away. You have to do that really quickly because he ends up dying very early. Alright, so militarily, look, I don't think your armies are bad. I just think that there's a lot of room for improvement there. So, I'm going to rate that 7 out of 10. So, overall, I think this campaign's going okay, but based on the evaluation I've given it, it's probably only about a 6 out of 10. There's definitely room for improvement. You basically need to get a lot more heroes. I think you'll get a lot more value out of it. If you could let a Dark Elf, like if you let the Cult of Pleasure, for example, take the Griffin Gate, and then use that as a means to generate influence, you could generate so much more than whatever amount that you're currently generating, and you can use that to, of course, get good traits, or use it to diplomatically manipulate the other factions of the game, which is part of what the High Elves can do, and it can be very expensive on that. You do need more you just need more agents, I mean, you need more heroes in general, so leveling up these settlements is crucial. More handmaidens will help with that. Anyway, yeah, so overall, I'm going to rate it 6 out of 10. I think he's done okay, but yeah, there's definitely room for improvement here. So yeah, that's my evaluation of this campaign. Now, Titan Gaming has left a Google Drive link for you guys if you want to continue playing this campaign. from turn 111, go to the description and check out the Google Drive link. Now, if you guys want to send in your save file and you want to allow other people to play it, please send it in to me with a Google Drive link, or just send me the save file. Anybody that sends in the Google Drive link, I'll just repost the link. But if you don't post a Google Drive link, I'll keep the save file private. I'm assuming that you don't want other people to play, and it's totally fine. But yeah, we'll do things that way. So if you're interested in participating in it, if you're enjoying the series, check out the description, leave me some feedback. This was obviously the first one, so there's going to be some growing pains with this. I'm hoping for the next one of these videos that will do more than one faction, and I'll probably try to cover them a little bit quicker. But I just gotta tease myself through this right now and get used to this this new video format. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and hopefully within like a week, this is just a really well-oiled machine, and I'm hoping to just mix it in with all the other content. So doing disaster battles, doing the Doomstack ones. Don't really want to do that too many more one-man Doomstacks, but we'll see how we go. Just to help things going along with this content drought that we've got going on. I'm sure the Warhammer 2 DLC isn't too far away, but it looks like it's at least a month at this stage. Anyway, really appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the support lately. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.